In the dense jungles of ancient India, fear had a name, Angulimala. Whispers spread through villages. He kills without mercy. He wears a necklace of fingers. Travelers vanished without a trace, and even soldiers dared not enter the forest he called home. Once, Angulimala had not been a monster. He was born Ahimsaka, meaning harmless. A brilliant student, kind and loyal, he studied under a great teacher. But jealousy grew among his peers. They whispered lies to the teacher, turning admiration into anger. Blinded by deceit, the teacher demanded the impossible. "Bring me 1,000 human fingers as proof of your devotion." Ahimsaka's heart shattered. Yet his loyalty to his teacher overcame reason. Step by step, he walked into darkness, transforming into Angulimala, the finger-garlanded killer. The forest echoed with screams, the rivers ran red, and soon his garland neared completion. But deep within his heart, a flicker of humanity remained, a faint whisper that asked, "What have I become?" He didn't know that destiny was leading him to an encounter that would change his life and the world forever. News of Angulimala's terror reached the royal court. King Pasenadi of Kosala, troubled and heartbroken, asked his ministers, "How can a man fall so far?" Some advised sending an army to kill him. Others warned, "No man can stop him. He is death itself." Meanwhile, Angulimala watched from the shadows as yet another caravan passed. Among them were mothers, children, old men, all trembling. But when one small boy dropped a toy and smiled innocently, something pierced his heart. He turned away. For the first time in years, he refused to kill. Still, his thirst for completing the garland remained. "Just one more," he told himself. "Then I'll stop forever." But the universe had other plans. That night, he dreamed of a man radiating peace, walking barefoot through the same forest. The man's eyes were calm, his presence bright as the moon. Angulimala awoke sweating. Who was he? The next morning, villagers spoke of a wandering monk, unarmed, fearless, traveling toward the forest. The Buddha. As the sun rose, the Buddha walked silently toward danger. His disciples begged, "Master, do not go. Angulimala will kill you." The Buddha smiled gently. "He who carries hatred in his heart is already suffering. I must go to end his pain." The forest grew darker with every step, but the Buddha's calm radiated light. Angulimala spotted him from afar and laughed. Another fool walking to his death. Drawing his sword, Angulimala charged through the forest. But something strange happened. No matter how fast he ran, the monk seemed to walk effortlessly ahead, always just out of reach. Frustrated, Angulimala shouted, "Stop, monk! Stop!" The Buddha turned and replied softly, "I have stopped, Angulimala. It is you who have not stopped." Those words struck deeper than any weapon. Angulimala froze, panting. "What do you mean?" The Buddha's voice was steady. "I have stopped causing harm to any living being. You, however, have not." In that still moment, the killer felt his entire world collapse. Angulimala fell to his knees. His hands shook. The sword dropped. For the first time, he saw not enemies or victims, but people. Mothers, fathers, children, all once alive because of him. Tears streamed down his face. "Can someone like me ever find peace?" The Buddha's eyes shone with compassion. "Hatred never ends through hatred. Only love ends hatred. Begin now." Something within Angulimala broke free, the chains of rage, guilt, and blindness. He bowed deeply. "Please accept me as your disciple." The Buddha nodded, placing a hand on his head. "Come, Angulimala, leave your past behind." The forest, once drenched in fear, now echoed with silence and light. The man who had taken countless lives walked away with the Buddha, unarmed, barefoot, and reborn. From that day on, the killer was gone. Only Angulimala the monk remained. Life as a monk was not easy for Angulimala. Wherever he went, people screamed, threw stones, and cursed his name. One day, a villager spat at him. Blood trickled down his forehead. Yet he bowed and said softly, "May you be happy." "Friend," the Buddha witnessed this and said, "Patience and forgiveness are the highest forms of strength." At night, Angulimala sat in meditation, haunted by the faces of those he had slain. But instead of hatred, he now sent them love. "May you be at peace," he whispered again and again until his heart grew light. Slowly, the villagers saw the change. The man once feared as a demon now swept the temple floor, carried water for the sick, and shared food with the hungry. The people began to wonder, can even the worst sinner become pure? One morning, Angulimala went for alms and saw a young woman crying in pain. She was in labor, unable to give birth. Her family begged, "Please, monk, help her." Angulimala trembled. "How can I help? I've taken lives. I can't bring one into the world." He rushed to the Buddha and told him what happened. The Buddha said, "Go back and tell her, since I was born of noble birth, I have not intentionally harmed any living being. By this truth, may you and your child be well." Angulimala hesitated. "But Master, that's not true." "I have harmed many," the Buddha smiled. "Your noble birth began the day you turned away from violence." With tears in his eyes, Angulimala returned and spoke the Buddha's words. Instantly, the woman's pain eased and she safely gave birth. That miracle spread across the land. The killer had become a savior. The story of Angulimala's transformation reached King Pasenadi. Shocked yet curious, the king rode to the monastery. There, he saw a calm monk meditating under a tree. "Where is Angulimala?" the king demanded. The Buddha pointed gently. "He sits before you." The king's eyes widened. "Impossible." But Angulimala bowed humbly. "Yes, your majesty, I was that man, but the Buddha has freed me from darkness." The king, moved to tears, said, "If such a man can change, perhaps there is hope for us all." He granted Angulimala royal protection, and even those who once hated him began to respect him. In time, mothers who had lost children found peace in his prayers. He never denied his past, but used it to teach compassion. From killer to saint, Angulimala became living proof of the Buddha's greatest teaching: it is never too late to change. Years passed. Angulimala's meditation deepened. The ghosts of his past no longer haunted him. Instead, they became his teachers. One evening, as he sat beneath the stars, he reflected. The same hand that once held a sword now offers kindness. The same heart that burned with hate now radiates peace. He reached enlightenment not through miracles, but through patience, humility, and endless compassion. Other monks asked him, "Brother, how do you bear the weight of your past?" He replied, "By carrying it gently, as a mother carries her child, with love and understanding." Angulimala had finally found what he had sought all along: not power, not redemption, but freedom. And so, in silence, the forest that once echoed with cries of fear now sang songs of peace. As the years went by, Angulimala continued his alms rounds, humble and serene. One day, as he walked through a village, a man recognized him and struck him with a stick. Angulimala bled but did not retaliate. He whispered, "May you find peace." When the Buddha saw his wounds, he said, "You are now paying the final debts of your past. Endure them patiently." That night, Angulimala meditated under the moonlight. He smiled, feeling the burden of karma lift from his heart. In his final moments, he whispered, "I have found the peace I once stole from others." And with that, the monk who had once been the terror of the land entered nirvana, free from all suffering. Centuries later, the story of Angulimala still echoes across the world. His life reminds us that no one is beyond redemption. No past is too dark, no mistake too great. The Buddha once said, "Just as a storm can turn the river muddy, so can wisdom make it clear again." Angulimala's transformation is proof of that truth. From blood to compassion, from fear to love, his journey shows that change is not just possible, it is powerful. Whenever you feel lost or unworthy, remember Angulimala. Remember that within every shadow lies a light waiting to shine. His story is not just about one man, it's about all of us. The endless potential to rise, to forgive, and to begin again.